time for questions, but I think I got gypped a little bit with talking. But yeah, does anyone have any questions for me? Comments? I hope the students that did participate in my study are still in nursing and still maybe in the audience. That would thrill me to no end. Hi.
Hi. Okay, this is on. That's good. My name's Mary Fife Jost. I'm one of the senior students at Dalhousie. I loved your presentation. It's really inspiring. I think we're all kind of brimming with passion and we're all feeling motivated this morning. So it's a great kickoff. Just wondering, what would be, I'm thinking about when people say to you, but you're just a nurse. What would be your advice?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I've never had anybody say, you're just a nurse, but I've had lots of nurses say that they were just nurses. So that is the problem. And so, I mean, if somebody said you're just a nurse, that would be a good conversation. I mean, I'd have to shut that down really quickly. You know, well, you're just a financial advisor. My husband says that he cares for people and helps people. And he makes a difference in their lives. And he makes the money, and actually has lost them some money the last few years. He's a financial advisor. I tell people to really reflect upon what it is that they do. And really, could you ever just say you're just a nurse? After we just listed what it is that we do, we assess people's needs. Psychologically, physically, emotionally, spiritually. We deal with families and individuals, and we make them well and prevent disease and promote health. And we plan care, and we plan systems, and we do research, and we're statisticians, and we're educators. And there's no way just belongs in that sentence. Honestly, it's just unbelievably phenomenal. Well, you know, then you and I will talk and we'll come up with a script and maybe a little dramatic representation of how we're going to do it. I will give it to you. We will script it. I'm not going to say that this is unscripted. You know, you walk away and you're like, I wish I would have said that. You definitely have to script it a little bit. So practice. Practice what you're going to say the next time somebody says you're just a nurse. We're going to practice it together.
Okay, we'll talk. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for the conference. I was just wondering, actually, well, at least in Quebec, one of the big problems is getting nurses motivated, like you were saying. I think I've heard more nurses say I'm just a nurse, or not just a nurse, but sort of like we don't really recognize. How would you, or like one thing you would tell us that we as nursing students, most of us, or at least from our school, are finishing this year, to bring into the workforce to try to motivate the older ones that are maybe from that generation that nursing wasn't, wow, we're nurses.
Yeah, that's a really great question. Actually, Janet and I were just talking about that. You know, it's not an easy confrontation of, you know, I have this great idea. That never works so well, ever. I've worked in 12 different places. When you show up and go, guess how we did it where I came from, that is not met with a smile. So, you know, when I say believe in yourself, you know, you don't have to wear the t-shirt like, I am brilliant, I will change your world. So it is taking the approach a little bit more subtly about maybe how we share our stories about, you know, I have an idea, what do you think about it? And I'm not saying, you know, play down what you can do, but work with people with where they're at, because sometimes when you present such an opposition to maybe where their head is at, that it seems so far, it seems insurmountable, so it's easy to dismiss you as being wild and wacky and just out there. So how do you temper that, and I think it's always a challenge, and we don't own it as nurses, but the thing is that because we work in such a group together and work so collaboratively together, we're not in our little cubicles or our silos, or I hope not, that I think that we're sometimes more aware of the tensions. And working through the tensions, it's hard, but I think it's bring your ideas in a way that doesn't so much contrast other people, but talk about how maybe it might present an option.
our city, there's our school, we're at the UC, and there's also another school that is nursing. And a big challenge we're facing is a lot of senior nurses ask us, well, why'd you go to that school and not to the other school? The other school is better nurses, their program's better, you're not going to be a good nurse, you're not going to have the skills. And it's really tough when we've been facing the hospitals and the communities and trying to live up for our program, because we're the second brand new program we just initiated, and trying to stand up for it and say, well, we can do this, and we have the education is really difficult. So I was wondering if you have any things you could help us with or any opinions on that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly willing, if you want to follow up with me. I mean, what I would say is that I am not immune to that myself. I mean, I graduated from a diploma school of nursing and then went right into DAL, and I didn't have legitimacy in the DAL group because I was a post-RN, but I really wasn't. And you know why I did that? It was because everybody complained about the DAL housing program. All the nurses in my life said that I wouldn't get as good of education. So I kind of succumbed to it myself 20 years ago, and went the route that was most valued by a certain group of practitioners. I think that it's just having that pride in yourself and that belief in yourself. I mean, sometimes you can't carry it around that you're always defending and convincing people. And the best thing you can do is actually demonstrate it.
My name is Josh. I'm a public master at the University from Hamilton, Ontario. You talk so much about cultivating passion and motivating action, which are great things. And I know as a student nurse, you can sometimes get pretty burnt out because you're going into clinical situations where you're not necessarily being welcomed as much as you'd like. And just basically the challenges of nursing school. So what advice would you have for me that I can bring back to my nursing school to cultivate passion and motivate action within the people in my clinical and nursing school?
You know what, when you're not treated well in the clinical setting, it's just wrong. It's really wrong. It reflects really poorly on us as a profession. I want you to take back that it is wrong, and that I'd like you to speak to people about who can help you make it better. Part of my research is about nursing work environments and incivility and bullying in the workplace, and I do that because I've experienced it, and I believe it's wrong, and I want to act against it. I don't think that any student nurse should ever feel not embraced in a clinical setting, and I think that they need to hear that. So you have a voice, and you have to bring that out. That's the only way it's going to change. I don't think that should ever be perpetuated, and it is your reality, and it's just not, it doesn't serve any of us well. So I would go back and say, you know what, other people believe it's not right. Let's talk to the leaders in this issue around nursing workplace kindness and collegiality, and how, you know, talk to the Nursing the Future people and find some strategies from their theoretical framework and things that have been proven to work. And take that back to the students and say, sometimes what motivates you is knowing that you're not alone in it. And feeling that what you feel is wrong, other people feel are wrong, it's wrong as well, and they'll help you with it. It's a sad note to end on.
I have a question. I'm Rebecca from York University, Ontario. I'm just wondering, with your research and everything you've done, you've mentioned the bullying and like burnout, I'm assuming, amongst nurses. I'm just wondering if you created any programs personally that have helped, you have implemented or others have implemented to encourage the nursing staff that are there already. Like as a student, for my IMPD, if I saw that, can I bring that? Can I like start something?
Yeah, here in Nova Scotia, I mean, at the IWK, we instituted some policies around bullying, and we actually started a new orientation program for new graduates and formed a support group to help them through the transitions based on Judy Boychuk, Dusher's work, and her work around Nursing the Future. We have several different initiatives across the province, and they've been published and well written about, and I would share anything I could with you about those things. So absolutely, there's lots being done. Okay, thank you so much.